What's going on? IOBA, my name is TC, and this is the Awareness Channel. Now, let's talk about a little bit about that march they had, those marches that they had on Saturday, right? Now, we as black people talked about staying out of that shit, but as you know, a lot of us were there. Some of us spoke. Some of us couldn't stay out of there for various reasons. But by and large, we stayed back. We did what we said we was gonna do. But it kind of, I don't know, it didn't have the impact that the 2020 riots had. You know, riots are a voice of the angry people. Now I ain't saying go out and riot, but I am saying that the only thing that the federal government and Donald Trump types understand is when you get directly in their face and let them know what time it is. I'm not saying go out there and tear stuff up. I'm not saying that. But I am saying you need a more direct approach. You need a more direct approach. What needs to happen is this. And it probably is going to happen. I've been saying it since, you know, Donald Trump first got back in the office and started screwing up. But here's what needs to happen. Y'all need, by y'all, I mean people who voted Donald Trump ass back in the office after I told them not to. Y'all need to get up in Donald Trump's face. It need to be a million man march, Farrakhan style, down in New York City. A million DEI march down in New York City. A million people need to show up in DC on a day when you know he down there, when you know he in the White House, and let him know what time it is. Because that's the only thing that he'll understand. Him and his millionaire buddies will understand when the poor people was at the gate with the pitchforks. That's what he'll understand. That's what it's gonna take. Because I don't know, I didn't see too much coverage on mainstream media about the protests that happened all the way across the country, and in every state in the union had protests. A million people spread out don't seem to have the effect of a million people all up in your shit. Look at the pictures from 1995 Million Man March. A lot of people try to say it wasn't a million people there, and some people say that it was more than a million people there. But I know goddamn well it was a whole bunch of black men in D.C. in October 1995 at the Million Man March. Now, that needs to happen again, only this time with everybody who's considered DEI. You feel me? That means black men, black women, men, Hispanic women, white women, gay, LGBTQ people. Who else? Anybody else who's not a straight white male who lose or anybody who losing their job because of these crazy ass policies. All of them need to show up down in D.C. at the same time for the same purpose. That's what Donald Trump and the Republicans will understand. That's all I'm saying. Y'all kind of too nice about it. Y'all kind of too nice about it. You know, a situation like this calls for drastic times call for drastic measures. For real. Y'all spread y'all shit out all over the country. Okay, that's all good and everything. You know, 2,000 people here, 10,000 people there, and all that. Nah, you need to concentrate all that effort either here, in or either in D.C. or down here in Florida. I mean, I ain't nowhere near Mar-a-Lago, but I am in Florida. Y'all need to go down there where he at, or in the town closest to him, and let it be known that we don't do kings. You know what I'm saying? Only Congress can raise taxes like that. You dig me? We don't do dictators. We don't want motherfuckers coming from outside the country coming in, firing everybody and running roughshod over people. We don't do that here. Y'all need to let Donald Trump know that. Donald Trump is trying to pull his head out of Elon's ass, or take Elon's head out of his ass, however the hell it's going. He is trying to separate himself from it a little bit, at least on the surface. Because, you know, Elon got all his money back. Y'all do know that. They do a little math, 270 million divided by the 8 million a day he was getting to run Doge. He got all his money back. Plus some. He got all his money back. You know, and by the time he or what he didn't get back, they'll refund him. They'll give him his money back. If there's a balance when he leave. Because right now, you know, Elon is, you know, coming off like a loser because of that thing that happened in that Supreme Court election out there in Wisconsin, I think it was. So yeah, but when you're doing your demonstrations, they got to be steady. They got. How did we used to say that back in the day? They got to be long, deep, and continuously. That's how you got to protest. And all that quiet protesting and all that, y'all gonna have to get a lot more intense. When the United States want to tear up somebody's country, you think they asked them nicely? When they wanted to get rid of Gaddafi, you think they went in there and asked him nicely? Nope, they tore his whole country up. Now I ain't saying tear this country up because Donald Trump already doing that. I ain't saying tear the fucking country up, but I am saying you got to be more intense in your disagreement of the current situation. You really do. Take all that energy on all them people, get on a motherfucking bus, even if you have to do it a couple of times, and show up in D.C. Show up down in Mar-a-Lago, Florida, or wherever the fuck that place is. Show up there. You know what I mean? Got to be y'all good white folks too. But a million DEI march, you know, something like that gonna have to happen in order for Donald Trump to understand that the people ain't standing for the bullshit he's trying to do. But anyway, I applaud the people that did come out. I applaud the people that are out there, you know, making their voices heard. But can't help but I can't help but tell y'all this is what y'all asked for. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you vote for. You just might get it. Anyway, that's it for now, y'all. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch y'all on the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.